Well, hello everyone. This is Sevilla I Love. And here we are on this channel getting back to living and loving life again after a major life-altering loss, such as being widowed. All right, so there's widows out here clearing the room in 20 seconds or less. And I was one of them with our grief because it can happen. People are not generally comfortable talking about death and dying and how we lost our spouse. But the truth is, sometimes it does need to be talked about, or at least we need to be prepared to talk about it and to know how to do that and how to gauge the situation to know when is it appropriate to share. And maybe you're trying to get back out into the world, you're going back to work, and everyone's coming up and asking me how I'm doing. And it's like, I'm doing terrible. Terrible. Life sucks right now. It's really, really bad. But maybe that's not appropriate to say in this situation. You also want to be authentic with people, or maybe you just don't care what anybody thinks. Okay, so wherever it is that you're at, I'm going to give you some skills to be able to navigate this a little bit more effectively and not do like I did and put wet blankets on several parties that I have been to in my early days of my loss with grief. So, number one, you've got to ask yourself this one very important question. What do I feel and what do I want? Okay. So Joe Blow walks up to you in public. Hey, how's it going? What's been going on? I haven't seen you in a long time. And you're like, oh, my wife just died like 2 weeks ago, a year ago. It's the biggest thing that's happened to you ever. So do you just not mention it? So when you ask yourself, what do I feel and what do I want? You have to know, do I have time and space right now in myself to share the emotional vulnerability of talking about my spouse with this person right now? Do I have things that I need to do? Do I have some place that I need to be? Do I have work I need to attend to? And if I open up this box, is it going to put me in a position where I have to now gather myself back together again so I can move on with the next thing that I have to do? And the answer may be no, I don't have time and space for that. On the other hand, maybe it's somebody that you were close with, that was close with your spouse. Maybe you do have some time. Maybe you do want to give them more information. Maybe you feel like they have a right to know. And so you want to make time and space for that. So if you ask yourself, what do I feel and what do I want? Then number one, you're honoring that first. And what do I want might be, yeah, I want to give them some information, but I'm not feeling good right now to do that because what I want to do is to get stuff done before I do that. So how can you handle the situation? So maybe you tell that person who you feel like you'd like to have a nicer conversation with, you know, I'm doing okay in this moment right now. I've got a lot of things I've got to get done today, but I would love to catch up with you soon and share more about that. Let me take your phone number and I'll get back to you. Or here's my email, send me a message and we'll connect. Okay. So that's tending to the person. You're not blowing them off. You're not, but you're also not overextending yourself in that situation that you don't feel you have time and space for in the moment. That's okay to do. You don't owe every single person that comes along an explanation about the death of your spouse, unless that's what you want to do. Okay. But you ask yourself first, what do I feel? What do I want? And the want may be the bigger picture of the outcome I want to share with them, but I feel like I don't have the capacity right now, so I need to hold off. Now, what if you're on an airplane and you're meeting a stranger and they ask about you and your life and you're having a conversation? So you can have a shorter way to put your story together for strangers, which we would call an elevator speech. And that is, I was married for 23 years, and maybe if you had a tragic loss, you could say, my wife had a mental illness and she died from that. Okay, now, the truth is, maybe she died by suicide. However, okay, maybe she died from an accidental overdose because of the mental illness, right? But you don't have to give this stranger those details because one, it's probably going to shut things down and make things uncomfortable. You don't have to take care of them. And if you want to share that information, you go right ahead. But if what you want is to have a peaceful, uncomfortable flight, again, checking with yourself, what do I feel? What do I want? Then you have an elevator speech ready. So I was married for 35 years, and sadly, my wife struggled with mental illness. And eventually, we lost her in 2016 to that. So in the meantime, I've been rebuilding my life and been moving on. I've got a new business venture going. So now you're changing the subject. Okay. So they may say, I'm sorry. And then you say, yeah, thank you. It's okay. Thank you. It's okay. And not that it's okay, but it's okay in the moment, right? Because nobody's hurting in this moment right now. And it's okay. And so you're kind of putting the other person off the hook. And then you say, but this is what else is going on in my life. Things are going pretty good. My kids are great, uh, like, and then you just share other things about your life. Or you turn it around. If you want to change the subject, the world famous way to do it is to ask about them. This is what happened, and we eventually lost my wife in 2016 to the mental illness, and it was a really hard time, but we're doing okay now. And me and the kids are doing great. Got new business ventures going. Hey, tell me about you. What's your history? What's your story? Are you married? No. Okay. Now the person is probably going to take opportunity to talk about themselves and run with that and get away from any awkward conversation. And now you've just delightfully moved the conversation into something much more comfortable for both of you to talk about. However, maybe this person lost their spouse too. And maybe they say, oh gosh, yeah, I'm a widow too. This is what happened to me. And now you've got more information. Now you might say, now what do I feel and what do I want? I've got a 6-hour flight with this person. Maybe I'm okay to talk to them about because they've been through something similar. So now you guys can have a conversation. You can gauge at that point what would be the next wisest thing to do. But you're going to be able to make those choices much better when you check in with yourself with those two magic questions. What do I feel and what do I want? And most of what comes after that is going to be in alignment with something that honors you and the outcome that will best serve you in that moment. So I wish you all very good luck with this. Okay. And if you're interested having more conversations about your experience, I do private coaching sessions, private coaching consultation, and there's a link to my schedule below in the description of this video. You guys take very good care and know that this is a journey of many baby steps, and each one does count, and each one is bringing you into this new life that you may not have asked for, but it is the one you have. And I want to help you feel inspired to continue living it and finding out what it means for you now to still be here.